Yeah, go on.
Are you moving down here?
Oh, sorry, where was I supposed to?
No, you're good. Watch us make sure I didn't skip over anybody. We have.
We got it going, so we can wait. Kim live, and not there.
So did you say we got everybody for tonight then?
I think unless Kim shows up a little bit later, but
Okay.
Kim had surgery, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order then, if that's all right with everybody, is the box thing working? Okay.
Well, I know it's really important that one is.
We'll go ahead and get started, if that's all right with everybody. Welcome to the first meeting, no, not first, was it the second meeting of the year?
Yes.
Welcome to the second meeting of the year on March the 2nd. We'll get started. I think, does everyone have a quick folder? Everything in it for tonight. We'll get started with a review of the minutes from last meeting. That's the second page in everybody's handouts.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Entertain a second, unless everybody's still looking, and then take your time. Your second? Oh, okay. All right, thank you. All right, the motion's been made and seconded.
Jennifer.
You.
Still learning.
Is there any discussion on the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye to accept those. Any opposition? Motion passes. And sorry, I guess I'll hit pause before we go on. We everybody want to introduce each other? I know there's some new faces here, or Or, so that'd be okay? Just make sure everybody knows who everybody is. Is this your first meeting?
I came last time.
Oh, you did?
I was here, well, yes,
Okay,
I think I've been,
okay. Well, that,
but new to this, yes.
knew this, okay, is that okay? Sure, okay. Well, my name is Spencer Gwynn, I'm the board chair, and I'm a representative for the horticulture, position, so.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm Beth Johnson, I'm representative, ARS, in, our secretary.
My name's Mark Bull, I'm the treasurer, benefit third parties, I don't represent anybody, I guess.
Good, Jay, that was perfect, and director.
Barry Rice, I'm the facility manager.
I'm Caitlin Farley, I'm the horticulture agent. I'm Rita Stewart, your area extension director. And then I'm Jennifer Gaddis, family and consumer science.
Very well, do you need more? Glad to have you.
Yeah, thanks a lot for coming out and joining us. We'll move on, I guess, Mark, if you want, we'll turn it over to you for treasurer's report.
Okay, this will be pretty brief, we're still working on getting everything situated for December and January, as you know, the CD came through last August, we reinvested in December, therefore we'll need a new account, quick looks, so the UK is working in that account training for us. So in the meantime, I will go quickly over the budget versus actual. I have not reconciled anything since November, so the charts that are in here are what they are currently. If you go on the big page one, little number one, that's your tax revenue for the year, you're at 82.65% of the budget amount. Number two, that's the $250, that's for the rental income, we do not budget for this, but it is the amount that we receive. Number three and four, that's where your big items come in. Number three is your interest earned for the year. Halfway through the year, you earned $85,472 rounded. So you're on pace for about $170,000 for the year, and that's not something that we budget because interest income doesn't know, take a drop off tomorrow. Don't seem like it would, but it could. Number four, after reimbursements and refunds, they come from the UK. At the end of the year, they do their calculation on their end, decide how much we overpay basically and reimburse back to the district. So on that amount, I never can budget or estimate what that's gonna be necessarily. Number five, they're right on the spot, 75%, we've made 3 quarterly payments to UK so far. Number six, that's the professional services, they're at about 67% on the year. I think it'll be fine overall, it's just a little washed out for part of the year now. Same thing on equipment repair, number seven, you're at 65.95%. So it's a little washed out. One thing I did want to point out is good news so far. Now, I know we have a coach special coming in, but number eight, your utilities, you've only used 17.6%. So if you guys remember over the past 4 years now, we've had a lot of HVAC issues where they kept running and various other items. So later is about through. So as you can tell, I feel like we're back where we should be. So I think that'll come down this year. If you turn over to the next page, number 9, we're still working on getting some credit cards broken down and things. So your supplies and services are looking at 158.76%. Overall, your categories are fine. Once we get them broke down, that drop back to 100% for sure. Number 10, that's another one of your UK operating payments. We've made 3 quarterly payments for 75%. Number 11, your county travel, you're currently at 6.9%. Next page, number 12, special improvement is 2.13%. 13, capital outlay is 25.11, so we're all in good shape there. And number 14, we made 1 principal payment this year on the CACO liabilities, and we have 1 more interest payment coming. So at the end of the year, both of those will get 100%. So the remaining interest payment will be June of 2026. So just briefly on that, and then just to let you know, I don't have it printed out, just to let you know where you stand as far as the bank account goes. You're currently sitting at $6,487,442. That's stretched across 5 CDs, each value of $250,000, a money market account at $2.885 million, and a Farmers National Bank main checking account at $2.35 million. So just for a heads up on that. I did not print those out because I haven't reconciled, so we're not official. That's an estimate where you stand. I guess you have to vote on that. We can volunteer to do their things. Okay.
Thanks, Mark. So that's, the first part of the treasury report then for this evening. If y'all have any discussion, or I'd also entertain a motion to accept that part of the treasury report as presented by Mark.
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Second.
We've got a motion and second, to, approve that report presented. Any discussion or questions on that before we move on? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to, or sorry, I'd ask everyone to vote. So all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign? All right, motion passes. Thanks, Mark. Is that, and then is there no?
Follow, yeah.
Okay.
So the final page of that, as you guys know, we have invested in CDs over the past couple of years, and that's to pay down the CAECO bond liability that when we came in 2029. We have little staggers where basically they mature every 6 months in case we did need access to them. Another one has matured, it matured on February 17th of 2026. So I did contact Will South today to get the updated interest rate numbers. And so what you'll see here is we have two options. I asked them to get as close as we could to the 2029 payoff, that way we could, have the money available. Option one, it would mature in September of 2028, which is 3 months before we could pay it off, and the interest rate is 3.60%. Option two, maturity date would be March of 2029, which is technically a couple months into 2029, but the interest rate is 3.85%. So you get an extra 0.25% interest if you wait the extra 6 months. Now, from everything I see, you're gonna have the $250,000 available if we had coverage, if you so chose to take that as main checking account. Also, if you choose to, you can cash in the CD early. There is a slight penalty if you cash it in early, but I can check, I think the interest rate will overrule the penalty, so to speak. So my recommendation would be option two, but I'll leave that up to you guys. And also, if you have any questions, I can go back and add, if you want different time frames, like I was just going off the original plan, and this will be the final one that will extend out. All the rest of them, as they mature, we'll start lining them up right in 2029. So this will be the latest date.
So with the CAECO with 2029, when does that actually do? 12/31/28 is when the CAECO can be paid, or?
It'll have to be into 29, so it'll be January 1st of 29.
Okay.
So we'll have to be into that year.
So if we did wait and did option two, is there a penalty to us to wait for 3 months?
I mean, that's what I'm saying, like, there won't be any penalty unless you cash it in early. As far as CAECO goes, I think there's enough funds available in the money market that we can pull from or the checking account. Because the money market's not part of this current. You gotta move it over the extra interest.
Okay.
And so currently you got 2.88 billion in that account.
And what we owe CAECO?
Approximately 3.5 million.
I'll make a motion, we allow Mark to take option two.
I can say.
Okay. Motion made and seconded for accepting option two, which is an interest rate of 3.85%. It's a maturity date in March of 2029. Any other discussion or questions on that? We'll vote. Seeing none, all those in favor of accepting the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Passes.
And I'll be able to go move that fund so I get the notes for this meeting.
Okay. All right, is that all on the treasury report for now, Mark?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. All right, moving on to the next item of business for tonight, I'll turn it over to Mr. Barry Rice for a couple of room requests.
For Monica with the Art Center will not be here. She just emailed me a little bit ago. They're still doing some planning with what they were going to request, so they'll come in later date and do that. So, what we'll do is we'll move on to Mimi Gosney. She is with the Garden Club of Danville. They are a partner group with Caitlin, and they have recurring meetings here. Basically, she is requesting I think they're wanting to sell some items at one of the meetings. And she can explain more about that, and basically we're just asking for exemption for that, because as you know, with our policies, we're not typically allowed to sell things here without an exemption from the board, for profit or purpose.
One morning, you know, very idea, okay, I'm sorry about that. I represent the Garden Club of Danville, and we meet here the first Wednesday of every month about 1 o'clock. On April 1st, our speaker is going to be Alicia Vasella, and she has a native plant nursery in Waddy, Kentucky. Her subject will be native plants in the garden, and what we're asking you all for permission, if we can do it, and she brings some of her plants and then let the members or whoever comes to the meeting that day buy them. That's it. It's a one-time deal. She would have them, we pay her, we leave, it's done. It's up to you, because I know we can't just sell things here. Okay, that's it.
And what, I'm sorry, when did you say that was?
Excuse me?
What month was that? I didn't.
April.
April, okay.
April
It'll be April 1st.
April first.
And I mean, anybody's welcome to come to our meetings. It's open to the public.
What's her name? It's
Oh,
Alicia, Alicia, Alicia with Vasella, I think it is.
wait a minute, I turned my page too fast. ALICIA is in Sam E. And she has a native plant nursery in Waddy, Kentucky. I believe it's called Ironwood, but I could stand corrected.
Thank you. I'll second. Okay. We got a motion made by Jennifer, seconded by Barry. Any question or discussion on that before we vote? Seeing none, all those in favor of accepting that motion to allow the native plant nursery in Waddy to sell on April the 1st, signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Right. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Turn it back over to Barry for a facilities update.
All right, well, we've got a few things here. First off, the roof project that, you all approved a while back, we're still waiting on that, unfortunately, because we've had so many back-to-back weather events that have pushed projects ahead of us back. He's still, you know, he doesn't want to put a definite date on yet, but as of right now, we're still probably targeting early April. If we don't get rain every single day. You'll see there is it should be in everybody's seat, it says public notice at the top, it's an RFP for, this is what was run in the African Messenger for the month of February, and also on our office Facebook page. It is for our cleaning services that we have contracted. Basically, every 3 years, regardless of performance, I put all of our, contracted services out to bid. And that's what we're doing now. I have no issue with the current, company commercial hydraulics. It's just basically, we're making sure that we're getting the best value and, staying competitive. So, you're welcome to look that over if you need a little time to look over what I put out. And I have 3 sealed bids here that I'll give to Spencer, and he can open those and read those to you all.
Yeah, it looks like the application period has closed, right? It's closed. Okay,
Yes.
In February.
Yes.
Okay. What's the best way to do this? Just review each one, take it
that way with the group? Or,
Probably so, yeah, kind of, I would guess to three for each one.
the first one? So this is Charlene Satori. And she has put in a bid for January 22nd. Looks like she has. Sure, I'm looking at this right. Looks like she has done it on a per square foot basis. So she's got the main office building, the teaching barn, and then the pavilion. She's got a price per square foot of 15 cents per square foot. For a total of $5,700. $5,700, and then she's also charging tax. I don't know if that's that one or not.
No, it's not.
It's not. The description of the work that she provided with the quote is that dusting all surfaces, including but not limited to walls, ceiling, cabinetry, and other items that hold dust. Vacuum all floors, wipe down all cabinetry and countertops and surfaces. Mop all non-carpeted flooring, wash fixtures in break room and bathroom. Will not do windows. Entrance doors will be spot checked and cleaned for fingerprints. Wet vac entrance roads once per month, and that's 6 carpets. Trash removed nightly. And check soap and stock as needed, within different areas. She does have a certificate of liability insurance included. And, sales and use tax permit with the Department of Revenue.
Was that $2,700 clean or
That's what I was looking for.
monthly?
I'm
Or
assuming that's monthly, I mean, it's bound to be because, and what I asked on the RFP, which they didn't do is, I wanted it priced per day. Because certain months, you know, have less days or whatever the case may be for holidays or whatever. But I guess she just gave a rough generic amount, per month, which I know what we currently pay per month.
what are we currently? You know, are we currently paying per month?
Currently, it averages $4,416 per month is what we're currently, paying, for all the cleaning services. That's 5 nights per week, all 3 buildings.
Unless I'm missing it, I don't see anything that says the frequency or that this is billed.
It has to be a month.
Does the current company have any restrictions like windows, like you did, or do they do everything?
We don't have them do all the regular building windows, but the entrance door glass that get touched and things, that's done nightly. We do these windows like this one, so.
Now, do you all want me to pass this around, or what would be the, or I could go to the next one, whatever you prefer.
Let's go to the next one, and then we.
Come back to questions.
The very gave some baseline, so you get an idea if you go from.
Commercial hygienics.
What do you need that? Sorry, what do you want?
You say something?
Oh, here we go.
I was- yeah, thank you.
Oh. All right, so this is commercial hygienics, their schedule of services. Cleaning services will be provided 5 nights per week. Those 5 nights will be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. They will maintain a flexibility in scheduling to accommodate large events and holidays as required by the facility. Scope of work is general cleaning of all floors, including sweeping, dusting, wet mopping and vacuuming, a monthly shampooing of 6 carpeted entrance rugs. And it gives a detail, the rugs will be shampooed on the 15th and 30th of each month. Either date falls on a Wednesday or Saturday, shampooing will occur the next scheduled service day. Cleaning entrance doors, glass and surfaces, excuse me. Cleaning walls and baseboards, cleaning tables, chairs and countertops, cleaning appliance surfaces, cleaning all restrooms, kitchens and sinks, water fountains, nightly changing of all trash receptacles, changing of supplies for all dispensers. All cleaning supplies will be provided by the customer as stated in the public notice. Routine nightly service reflects current active facility usage. Additional labor required due to large events or expanded beyond normal hours may be billed separately at agreed hourly rates. So pricing, routine services, the price per service per day is $199.50. That's a weekly total for the 5 days of $997.50. For an average monthly total of $4,319.18. The separate line items as requested, light floor scrubbing and care, performed once per year, is $2,800. A complete floor care, treatment, stripping, sealing, and waxing of tile floors, performed every two of the 3 years, is $8,800. And they've attached their current liability insurance policy. That's all that they've got on there. Or I can show you this too if you need that. That's all. Any questions on that one? These back. What was the payroll from? This one was Harrisburg, the one I just did. Charlene is from Shelbyville.
Wow.
All right, this one is Corpus Janitorial, and it's from Lexington, Kentucky. The spiral vandal deal here. All right, they maintain a $2 million general liability policy with a $5 million umbrella, as well as workers' comp and bonding. Have a list of your cleaning supplies and practices. All right. So they've got a general cleaning list, which includes cleaning the entrance and doorway glass 5 times a week, service exterior trash 2 times a week, dust and sanitize fixtures and furniture 1 time a week, spot clean doors 1 time, empty waste paper and trash 5 times a week, clean and sanitize drinking fountains 5 times, spot wipe tables and conference room 5 times, vacuum and or wipe leather and office furniture 1 time a quarter, Dust for cobwebs up to 9 feet tall, one time a month. Dust Venetian blinds, one time a quarter. Clean ceiling events and picture frames, one time a quarter. Dust ledges and window seals, one time a week. Floor maintenance, vacuum, 5 times a week. Spot vacuum, carpeted areas, 5 times a week. Detail vacuuming edges and corners, one time a month. Spot dust mop and vacuum hard surface areas, 5 times a week. Dust mop, areas wall to wall, one time a week. Damp mop all surfaces and walls, or wall to wall, 3 times a week. Dust baseboards, one time a quarter. For the kitchen, they've got, cleaning and disinfecting countertops, clean kitchen sinks. Restock kitchen paper towels and soap, and then dust mop and damp mop floors 5 times a week. They'll disinfect exterior of appliances and clean outside of the microwave 1 time a week. Restrooms, clean and polish restroom dispensers, clean and disinfect sinks, toilets. Dust mop and damp mop floors with germicidal cleaner, clean and polish restroom metal and mirrors. Restock paper and soap products. And then clean and sanitize sanitary dispensers 5 times a week. Spot clean the partitions between the commodes. And then wash restroom partitions 1 time a week. The monthly charge will be $175 a day. Times 5 days for applicable services. Be $875 a week. On average, that'll be $3,791.38 a month. I don't see that they did, unless that's what this one is, I don't see a breakdown of the other, for those other activities. Ask,
Did they not put anything in there about the floor care or anything?
no, here it is, it's in a separate one.
Okay.
Okay, so special care services, burnish and restore on all, VCT floors. It's $4,300. Strip and refurnish VCT floors, $7,500. Hot water extract carpets, 25 cents per square foot. Electrostatic disinfecting spray, 7 cents per square foot. Buff floors, 20 cents per square foot. And clean exterior windows for 20 cents a square foot. But it does not have a total for those services that I see. That's the 3 quotes that we have.
It sounds like they're not doing everything that the group is doing now. Each day. Okay, as you read through all of it. There were some things, even though, they've got a cheaper rate there.
Think,
Yeah,
There were some things at the end that you listed that we don't necessarily need to pay for or even have ever done with, the current company that they added on. I don't know if they would actually, I don't know if they were just giving us an example of that in case we wanted that service. But there were a few things on there that we just wouldn't honestly do.
yeah, it looks like, I can pass this around if y'all want, but it looks like the nightly scope of work from commercial hygienics, they will do more on a nightly basis than Corvus will do on a nightly basis.
Okay, Barry, I'm just pressing on you. Have you been satisfied with?
Yes, they've been very, good to communicate with me anytime there's an issue or a question, and very flexible with, you know, if we know we're having a very long event. If I give him a few days notice, he'll move things around to help, because they normally don't clean Wednesday nights. Because they're only doing 5 nights a week. He'll take things around and. I mean, it's been so far, been pretty good, and they did. The current price that you, sell on bid, they did come down a little bit from last year.
Yes,
Right at close to $100 a month, looks like this. For the same services.
From the same services as commercial, hygienics.
North Projects is our current,
Oh, that is your car.
Yeah.
Okay.
and, it sounds like they come down about $100 a month for the same thing they're currently doing.
I can.
I'll make the motion we accept the bid for commercial hygienics. So, cleaning services.
That's again.
We have a motion to accept commercial hygienics' quote. Is there any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of accepting the motion to approve commercial hygienics to continue going forward, this is for a 3-year term, right?
Well, it's every year we renew it. I'll bring it to you every year to renew it,
Oh, okay.
but we don't put it up public bid, but every 3 years unless we have a performance issue within that year.
Got it, okay. So this will be revisited then a year from now.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, so, that being said, all those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Long. Appreciate you. Let me read all this out and work with you all too. We'll set these aside. Okay. Let's see, is that all, Barry, or was there anything else on there?
Now I've got a couple of things here.
Okay. Go ahead.
Next, we have the, quote from Norman Harris Heating and Air. This is the current vendor that we use. That's the company that put everything in when we did the addition in 2020. And basically, we have a unit in the project room, outdoor unit, that the compressor has gone bad in it. And I had him to quote 2 different options, either replacing the compressor in the current unit versus just replacing the entire unit. And it's no longer commercial, units only have a year warranty. So we're outside of warranty. So this would be, basically, we would pay the full amount of parts and labor for the compressor. Basically, if you all, whichever way you want to do that, whether you want to replace the outdoor unit. And it'd be the same, like you have a 1-year warranty from the date of install. Or just repair or return.
How old is that unit?
Maybe 5 years, because it was put in the, project rendering was built in 2020, so.
So the bid with installing the compressor is the repair.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
We're looking at 7,000 to repair or $8,600 to replace. So what's that? Am I looking at that right?
Actually, it's the opposite, isn't it?
Well, I didn't actually, I just looked at the,
Yeah, it's, quote 2 for 7,000 is to change the unit completely out, and the 8,600 is to replace the compressor and repair. Yeah, where they have changed to the new, basically the parts and Freon, for that type of system, which was right before they changed to this new one, they had went a lot higher.
So they really are discouraging
Yeah, that's basically what they're
That's
doing.
basically their contract, you know.
Yeah. There's a limited supply of that fridge.
Yeah,
We're asking.
We don't think.
It's kind of a no-brainer. Isn't it? Cause it sounds like a new unit is more.
yeah, and it would get another year on that, from the date of install, and, you know, we would have a new refrigerator in that unit. So moving forward, if any repairs for the next, I guess, I think they do it every 10 years, I think they change the refrigerator. We should be able to get parts and repairs fairly easily.
I would make a motion to accept. I mean, very close to.
Okay. Motion's made, just do the replacement option number 2. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll sign it.
Okay. Any other discussion or vote? Seeing none, all those in favor of accepting the replacement, so the repair quote for $7,000 quote 2, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passed.
Okay,
Okay.
I gave a packet to everybody. If you didn't, let me know. So this past year, I hosted or I held 5 workshops, between Halloween and Christmas, and, had about 96 people in attendance. And these were all floral-based workshops. And I am, asking to buy a floral cooler, and I have provided 2 options. And we went through the same company as the ice machine, is that correct, Gary? Okay. Both cooler options, have a 7-year warranty with them. So if there's any trouble, we can just call them up and have them come out and fix it. And, during the times, that I am not operating the cooler, you can have it available for the food pantry, if there's any extras, if we need to wait for like Garrett County Food Pantry to come and pick up, or whatever the case may be. Or it could be available for whoever needs it within the office. So you all can just take a minute to look over the 2 different options. One is a 3-door, the second option is a 2-door.
So these are listed as floral cooling cases. Does that put any restrictions on them for food use, or is that just the decoration at the top?
It's, well, the humidity is different, but for like a short-term operation of holding food over for a day or 2 in the pantry, it's not gonna be a big deal.
They probably keep a little more than the refrigerator.
So how much capacity? Thank you, Lee.
Well, I'm gonna go for the 3-door, that's my first pick, but so like just for example, like for the holiday centerpiece workshop, I held 3 classes within 1 week. So with my schedule getting busier year after year, I can go ahead and get all of those floral products at once instead of 3 different deliveries. Because that takes time for me to process everything. So if I can get it all at once to get in a cooler for a few days, I'm gonna guarantee my paying customers the freshness that they would receive on day 1. So I can utilize all 3 sections, but I'm happy with 2 doors. If I answer your question.
Electrical wise,
Yeah, just,
we're good on that.
the standard, you know, any plug will work.
We put more projected utilities.
Yeah.
I took it space, you take 24 inches.
What would this be at?
We're thinking in the garage. But I have held all my classes in the project room.
Okay, the only reason why I said that, well, actually, you're gonna see it too, but I understand that that's where it's needed.
Well,
That's
I
where it
think
needs to go.
it probably needs to be behind locked doors. It
Okay.
doesn't need to be right here in the hallway for everybody to come and swipe a flower.
Yeah,
So,
I guess what I'm saying, to see some of the final product.
gotcha. Well, so people sign up for these.
But they're
classes.
paying for this, they're gonna take it home, so that's, yes, I just don't know what's going on there, so.
You're good.
Okay,
This help with like the floral design competitions that come in for the fairs.
We could probably hold them in there overnight. That way they last longer throughout the week if the board is okay with that.
Yep.
That's, yeah, that's good.
I'll make a motion, we purchase the 3-door for the refrigeration case.
Second,
I can say it.
any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the 3-door floral design case? Signify by saying aye.
Uh,
Any opposed? Passes.
I need one thing before we move on to the next, if you could give me some signatures.
Okay.
On the heat and air flow and the commercial hydrant, and the per quote for the,
In the refrigeration quote.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. While I'm doing that, is that all that you got, Barry?
Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay. And Caitlin, you too? Okay, thank you. All right. All right, well, while I'm doing that, Jay, do you wanna? Yeah. Give an update?
So we're filling vacancies, the office is starting to feel like, we've got people in it again. So, all 3 staff assistants are now in place. And I feel very positive about all that. Sonera, especially, she moved back into her office. And so we've got, Harry Ziesmer. That pronounce it right? Okay. Carrie Seesmer that just started, last week, and she's come in very positive and doing her training and so forth. Bethany Wilson started, she's been here, doesn't seem like she's been here a month already, but, I think, the office looks good, and, I just like having full seats now up front. And so we got all that. There is currently 3 positions posted. The 4-H program assistant is posted. It closes this week on March 5th. So we'll be getting the applicants for that. And probably Rita and myself and Sarah Gray can sit down and go through those. The 4-H position is posted and closes March 9th. And along with that is the FCS agent position. It also closes March 9th. So things are moving along. We should have those 2 new agents back in here in a couple of months, I would think. I think we're looking for a good spring and summer and back to our full house. Give you a little update. 4-H wise, Sarah Grace and 4 of the teams that presented their trip. They are in Philadelphia, I think, right now. They flew out this morning. Did they go to Boston first? So they went to Louisville last night, and I was afraid that the weather would ice them in and they would get delayed, but.
Well, it's fortunate that they're doing it now versus last weekend.
Oh, yeah.
last weekend, they were,
Yeah, they wouldn't have been going last week.
we'll be going.
So they're on their trip and, hopefully have a good trip and good weather while they're out there.
I'm guessing they were, oh, right,
I think so.
okay.
And they really appreciate the help of the board. Okay, that really, that topped off the bank, so. And they're looking forward to coming back and present that. And, I kind of made a suggestion, I'm gonna ask them if they would present their trip to the fiscal court.
I think it'd be a great idea.
I think it'd be a great idea to talk to Trilly and put them on the agenda when they get back and let them talk about their trip. So that's all the updates that I've got from that. A&R is filled, and she starts April 1st. So we got Casey Gordon. Local gal, and so forth, she's anxious to get started too. We look forward to having that position filled. Yep.
Very good. That's good. Well, I appreciate your all efforts on Jay and Rita both on keeping the balls rolling and keeping things going on that. So appreciate that. You all, anything else on staff update, Jay? Guess we'll move on. Yeah. I guess we'll move into the big item for the night, which would be the budget for 2027.
All right, Mark and Barry, myself and Rita, we met last week and went over numbers. And we filled in some numbers that night, and then I sent it to UK for their review. And they sent back some suggestions, and I made those changes today. So, and we can continue to make changes tonight. So this is not set in stone tonight. Yeah, so, Jennifer, something that Mark and I had a discussion with tonight, and I put this on for everybody. The budget is kind of there's kind of a delay. You know, we take money in now and we spend it basically next year. So that's kind of, if you can kind of wrap your mind around that, it's sometimes kind of hard to remember that. So the tax rates you see here on this 27 budget are the current tax rates that we are receiving income from right now. So if you look, the real property, we lowered that tax rate down to 8.0 and roughly 2 million, 1.99. The personal property, we actually cut in half, from 18 down to 9.86, with an income of 408,000. Motor vehicle, watercraft, get 37,000 from that. And, so then there's collection tax and so forth, so it gives us a budgeted income of 2.2 million. So we went ahead, on down here, that line comes down. We went ahead and put interest in. And we usually don't do that, but we're pretty sure that's where we're gonna hit. Telecom taxes, that's been pretty consistent over the years. We used to have a figure under franchise, but UK told us that figure is already in there. So, we didn't want to double up that. And then the reimbursement down here. So we send a payment to UK every year. And that pays salary and benefits and things like that, it comes back to here. And a lot of times there's an overpayment. And, this last year it was, with the vacancies, it's 100-some thousand.
Yeah,
So-
151,000.
So it's not that every year. Okay. So we're 50,000 should cover that. UK actually even, you know, they said normally that's zero.
Ordinarily, you want to budget for interest or reimbursements whatsoever, because they're not guaranteed income. The interest could drop off tomorrow, reimbursements might not come back in the door. Ultimately, the question is, how close do you want your budget to add? So if you don't put it in there at the end of the year, you're gonna be $200,000. So that's where it kind of comes in, our budget's coming out to being like 555,000, whereas at the end of the year, we're turning 1.1 million. So from a budgetary standpoint, we're missing. And so that's why I kind of asked about this time, so like, should we pick up reimbursement, get the budget closer to what we're actually spending and bring it in? Because from my standpoint, from a business, that's great, you know, you pull your budget out of the water, from a budget committee standpoint, we did a bad job, we didn't capture it. So it's kind of taking it to two sides. So that's what I was kind of asking on that.
And kind of, Mark, you show me if I portray this as being wrong, but that budget meeting. We were all talking about it, and Mark Becker said we need to try to get it as close to the line, I mean, it wasn't our fault, but we were way off last year. And going back, we're trying to get where that budget most closely reflects what we're doing during the fiscal year.
Yeah, so basically, we said the tax rates, we're taking the income side, and bring the income back down to cover expenditures. And then with this budget committee meeting, we're looking at the expenditures, make sure we have them accurate. Because like Jay said, we're 6 months apart, but we're taking it to two sides. So we're setting tax rates at one point, and then 6 months later, setting the budget. So you're kind of chasing your own tail. So I'm trying to get as close as we can without it just looking like we have extra expenses in our ordinances, so to speak.
Yeah, I think these numbers here are gonna be real close, true number.
Sure.
From historic, you know, values.
And the other issue that we don't know is property valuations. Those aren't set till July 1st. Is that right, time? We don't know what those are. So,
Yeah, it's usually the evaluation numbers come in after we set tax rates.
right.
These are just some other numbers that are there. So we have a total of $8.5 million available funds. That's your CD, that's wealth, that, you know, your accounts and all that, so. We're gonna get into the expenses. This is support staff expenses. We budgeted in the 4-H program assistant vacancy. We'd like to keep the FCS vacancy, that's a misspelling right there. Because I think, down the road, we'd like to fill that position. But again, it's up to the FC or FCS agent that comes in, but I'd like to keep it in the budget. So these are basically the employees that we have. Here's the summer Lorax, Jennifer. This has been ongoing since 24, I think. And it's in conjunction with the city. And it's just a summer job to help water the trees. They put up part of the funds or reimburse us for part of the funds to pay. We hired one last year. What did it do the whole month of July? June, it rained. They didn't even water the trees, did they? Okay, so Caitlin supervises this position. But when we get down to the budget, we probably need to vote, the board needs to vote on this position again, so that we can start, we'd like to get an earlier start, last year we were kind of behind the 8 ball, and had to play catch up, we'd like to put this out there. Do you want to go ahead and?
You can wait. On our budget, Jay, it says 4 hours.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And the reason it just reflects 4 hours is because that's the average in over the entire year. So
This is a summertime
it
job.
equals out to actually what that person can make up that
Right.
larger hours per week, right? Does that make sense?
Well, why can't I get back to it?
Sorry.
No, I'm gonna try and get back to Ryan's budget that he sent me. Oh, here, okay. Back to this one. Okay, this one should have changes on it. Yeah, yeah, so. In the past, we've put this in here at 20 hours a week. Because the position's for a 20 hour a week position. But they calculated on a full year. So it was looking like we were spending $15,000-$20,000 for this position, and we're not. So this is what they suggested, put it at 4 hours a week for the budget. But the actual position will be 20 hours a week for like 12 weeks. But they did this to make the dollars come out. Another one of those, Mark, that adjust the dollars, the expenses were more accurate. So then to explain this, so they changed it a couple of years ago, and so we have two base agents, those two base agents are the SCS and the 4-H agent. When Jerry Little left, that made him that position, made the A&R position the third agent position. So that's what this is calculating here. And then on down here, are the fourth and fifth agents. So personnel altogether is $827,000. We get into travel, we had a discussion about this. Last year's budget was 10,000 per person, we lowered it down to 7. And, this is one that, once we get all the new people in and get a year under our belt, we'll have a better idea of kind of where a true figure of that is. We hate to take it down any more than that, because I know in other counties, 7,000, 6 or 7,000 gets ate up pretty quick. The saving part here for us is we have vehicles, we own vehicles. So when they drive a company vehicle or an office vehicle, it doesn't subtract off of that number. Okay.
This is one of those areas where if they need it, they need it. This is one of those areas where I saw we were running training a little bit, so I had to ask a question on why. So they all have to be the same amount, so that's what increased it somewhat. So we said on agent, every agent has to be the same. So basically what we had to do is take the highest agent and set everybody the same amount. So if you have an agent, you go 8,000,
Everybody has to be at 8,000.
so that's where a little bit of that exodus is.
And then staff, support staff and program assistants can vary then, so that's either.
Yeah, they,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think what was all agents had to be the same and all support staff had to be the same, I think all job categories. Or something like that. Everybody. Thank you.
So that figure altogether on travel is 51,000. Professional improvement. That 5,000 is actually two numbers. There's $4,000 for professional improvement. $1,000 if they belong to ESP, which is Epsilon Sigma Phi, which is a fraternity sorority that agents can join. So the maximum professional improvement that they can have is $4,000. And the 1,000 is the maximum that they can use for the ESP also.
So is this for like continuing ed?
This is for continuing ed and professional, so all the agents, all the program areas have state and national professional improvement conventions or.
Right.
So that's where they pull this out of versus regular travel. This is set aside for professional improvement.
We left that the same because you have a lot of agents coming in.
Right.
So the odds are they will be traveling,
Yeah.
training, so.
So we can train, so, yeah.
And I know as a past A&R agent,
That's
I've
actually-
really enjoyed the national conventions and state conventions.
It's cheap.
You know, this is where you meet people, other agents across the state and across the United States. Cause I've had calls from agents that I've met from other states and so forth. And I've planned some out-of-state trips. And it's nice to have some connections with some people outside of the state, say, hey, you know, we're gonna come to your county, we're gonna come to your state and county, can you help us put a trip together? And it's kind of nice to have some of those connections.
Well, if the agents can come up with one idea and bring it back and in.
Oh, yeah.
In the program, as well,
With
with
the
time and experience, yes.
And that's where a lot of this programming, because there's poster presentations and there's other personal presentations about programs that they've done. And I've picked up quite a bit.
And a lot of our agents are presenters.
And so, yeah,
We have some really great programs, so a lot of times our agents are going to the national meeting, they're presenting at the convert session.
And their travel's usually paid, but sometimes.
It varies. Sometimes.
Right. I just think,
5,000 is the.
if they, the 5,000, I mean, I know what I have to pay for one of the meetings, I think 5,000 is. I've got the hiccups.
well, not to, you know, the $50 night motel rooms are gone. You know, these conventions, it's $250, $300 a night now.
It's horrible, it's horrible.
You know, and a plane ticket, you know, round trip to Louisville's $600, you know.
I just, so if they do get, you know, if there's a really good, you know, chance for them to better themselves, do they just bring a special request in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they have,
So that's the max, 5,000 is the most we can do.
But they can come and request more.
Yeah, there's, depending on when the meeting is, like.
Sure,
you
there's
could-
a lot to it.
Like you could pay your registration, if you have not used all your money this year, and your national meeting is coming up, the registration is up, like you could go pay the registration on the money
Yeah.
left, and so there's some little ways around
Okay.
that, and we can always. But our agents are only allowed to have 2 professional association meetings in the same year, so. Like they could go to DSP and go to their association meeting, or there's a couple of.
That's it, those are your cables.
Yeah, for the budget.
All right.
Mhm. Yeah. And ESP, I'm sorry, for the support staff and program assistants, they have a professional association to Castle on Sigma. And like their meeting is in April, they have a state meeting only. So that's why they have money back to this, so they can pay dues and over that.
So total travel and professional improvement together is 86,800. This just shows some UK operating expenses that are charged based on agents, and that goes towards computer services and things like that they provide to the agents. So when we get fully staffed, we'll have 14 employees there. Okay, we're gonna get into the office operations, advertising and printing. In the past, that's been zero, but we've been advertising on Scrolodex, and we put billboards up through Lamar and all that. And so we're gonna run them through, code them correctly and get them through this. Professional services, Barry just helped you figure that number out, so. Professional, the contracting, the lawn mowing, contracting, things like that. Maintenance and repairs. That's HVAC, aging out.
Does that have does the 70,000 for maintenance and repairs, does that include the roof repair, or is that a separate item?
This is fiscal year 27.
So we're counting this on, this will be done this year, assuming it's done.
So the roof will come out of this year's budget.
Okay,
This is next year's budget.
all right.
I put it in there originally, and then I thought, oh, wait a minute. We're probably gonna pay for that in this fiscal year, not next year,
As long as it's before what, June 30th?
before it's June 30th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Equipment repair, again, we're just going by historical figures. Where that's at, vehicle insurance, vehicle maintenance. Utilities, we increased. Again, we're gonna work on some things. And I don't know if we've got our electric bill from the ice storm. If our electric bill is anything like what I got at the house,
It'll hit us good.
it's gonna hit it pretty hard.
I've already seen mine and paid it, so I have.
Mine's about 3 times what it normally is.
Biggest one I've ever had, I've under 8 years.
It's pretty big.
So marketing and special programs. That is for programs that are multi-program areas. And any of our promotional items, things like that come out of there. And that's where Lamar and Scrolodex was coming out of. Kind of hidden in there, so we're gonna code it up under advertising, so we kind of have a better idea of that. Also, 12,000 of that goes to the 4-H council for camp. I want to talk about that later. I'd like to see us increase that just a little bit. So that's kind of where that's at. Again, supplies and services, historical, postage and shipping, historical, janitorial supplies, historical. Now program support. Again, it's $10,000 per agent, and it all has to be the same. One agent might spend 10,000 and one agent might spend 1,000, but they all have to have 10,000 for that. And program support, that gets any supplies, any research data, or any research plots that they want to do, special equipment, soil probes, hay probes. Like Tyler did a research plot on interseeding clover and the fescue and things like that. Had to have a seeder and some other tools. So all that kind of stuff comes out of there. Caitlin, all the flowers and plants, rootstock, things like that for her programs comes out of program support. County travel, that figure was from above. Audit 7,500, we're gonna leave it there, even though the audit was a little cheaper than that this year. It was suggested that I increase the bookkeeping expense. Mark, remind me, we need to, what we talked about in the budget meeting.
So more or less it brought up that, currently, I guess I'm at an hourly rate, and so it was discussed if you wanted to move to a monthly amount as versus hourly rate. I'm with either way, it's just a matter of what you guys would prefer.
The reason why it was hourly was because we're doing all the buildings and everything. There's extra time needed to be marked, sign checks and.
But it goes back to like, I think REC started in 2016 hourly. And then when they gave up the account, I worked there originally, and when they gave up the account, I took it over to 22, it's been hourly ever since then as well. And that's due, like Barry said, building projects in 2019 started there. We had to, basically started building all the PAYGO bonds, all the expenditures of the, building itself, basically meetings every month, so it increased the amount, so therefore they charged hourly there, so keep it on. So it's just a matter of what you guys prefer as far as the ease and everything. So historically, it's went from about 25,000 down to this year, it should be about 12, so it's about cut in half for the past 3 years. This may stay around there unless we do decide to build a new building at some point. So that part's up to you guys.
That was just a thought that came out of the budget meeting, so
I would like to make a motion later on.
Okay.
That, okay,
I wrote it down here, so don't let us forget that. Building insurance, we increased that. Cause we actually went over this year on it. Treasurer's bond, we increased it quite a bit. Because we were only bonding for what was in the checking account. And we found out that Mark needed to be bonded for the CDs and everything. So we're increasing that bond clear up to, I think we're gonna go to 9,000 or 9 million, 9 million. Cause we've gotta be bonded 125% of what Mark has access to.
Yeah, so basically I have access to the 8 million, and then Walter Goggin has access to the 2.8 million that Farm Staff Bank checking account. So we both have to be bonded, myself up to the 9 million, give or take, and then Walter up to
We're doing 3 or 4 million on Walter, yeah.
it's whenever we have signature Corey power, basically. Because he is a signer, so have the insurance for the bond.
Volunteer background checks, that's for all of our volunteers, that have to go through Ken checks and background checks and so forth. Caitlin, you have something?
No.
Oh, okay. Equipment purchase, lease, rent, that's like, if we need printers or anything like that. Now, here's something, vehicle purchase. We would like to purchase a new van, another van. We would like to have 2 vans. And talking with Lincoln County that just purchased one, probably gonna be close to $60,000. Just kind of show you what's happening. About 4 years ago, we purchased one in Garrett County for $38,000. That just kind of shows you what cost of things has gone up. I put, we've talked about some things, and I want to talk about it coming up. Land purchase. I've put some money in here because I'd like to address looking at maybe buying 5, 6, 7, 8 acres next to us. Kind of for our future plans of what we'd like to do. So I just put it in there for now. Rest of these, we're just looking at historical. Like here, parking lot, we've got 50,000. Later this summer, we'd like to reseal the parking lot. And reline all the parking spots. We went ahead and put it in this spot right here. And then capital outlay, the principal payments, 185,000 with interest of 153,500 in that fiscal year. That's still correct, Mark? Sound right?
I know what you're doing.
I think that was the numbers that you pulled up for us there.
Sounds good, right?
So total expenses, 2.58 million. So we actually are gonna spend 160,000 more than revenue. But we're okay. I'm pretty sure that's what you looked at, Mark.
You can wait on this version. I think. Take one, basic.
So estimated emergency operating reserve that we have is 2.9 million. Total all reserves, 5.9 million. And total budget, 8.5 million. Is there anything in there anybody wants to add or change or?
So on the positions, I think where it is. The program assistance is one 4-H. We have one vacancy now for program assistance. And we're talking about hiring another agent.
Yes.
We have two total 4-H agents, so do we need to look at another 4-H program assistant position?
It's posted. That's what's posted.
This is not. So the 4-H vacancy here, that's the one that's posted, right?
Yeah, this one is posted right here.
But I'm saying, do we need a second one?
We do, we have.
We have one,
We already had one.
Danny Jones.
Yeah, okay,
So Danny's already here.
okay.
She's been here for almost not quite a year.
Yeah, okay.
So this one would be,
But it's two enough, I guess, then.
yes, yeah.
So we're good with that.
Now, that would give each agent a program assistant to work with.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you give me two agents and two program assistants.
Okay.
We can do a lot of programming. Good question. Anything else in there that needs more explanation?
So what is the timeline for us to approve the budget? This meeting?
If you're all agreeable, then it's approved tonight.
It has to be presented to the school board.
By April 15th.
So it has to be the
So-
first, about the first of the month, right? First of April,
First of April.
And the fiscal part is.
the first week and the third week, right? For the month, so we'd have to have it done before.
But like I said, we can approve it tonight.
Right.
Do we have to put any details behind? Or like, you kind of gave us the breakdown for the vehicle purchase.
Right, December this year and June next year. Back to total 342.
Okay. Let me,
I think it's still last year's number.
For the amount that we have in reserve for emergency, like the capital improvements fund and the capital equipment fund. those numbers will be reflected in our two-year capital reserve.
Right.
Yeah.
What our uses for those are, so those have to be spelled out.
Okay, well, make sure I'm talking about the right thing. So the land purchase line item
Mhm.
under administration,
725.
131.
Yes.
And then the vehicle purchase, so we talked about the van, which I know you talked about the number there, but is this enough detail to satisfy those two purchases? Okay.
Okay, so we principal payment, Mark looked at the schedule. Principal payment actually is gonna be 200,000 with planned interest payment of 131,725.
And that'll be the fee that's up top, the total payment will be 342.
Four thousand, 39.
It should be for that thing. Here, count. 59,009.
10,000 for here.
So this fee would be 10,675.
So we need to increase that a little bit.
It's flattened out.
So what we're talking about, where you,
Bank fees, 59,009,
there we go.
which make that 11,000. And that's not the only.
Yeah, that's the, we'll call it servicing fee, I guess. All of it.
Anything else anybody sees?
What was the interest? I'm trying to put it down here. 130.
So the interest was 131,725.
So how come the interest went down?
They're all sitting in one, right?
Yeah, we pay down
So,
for.
So if your principal increases and your interest goes down.
Right, but I mean, in that, we had 185 and we had a much higher interest payment. But that was last year.
That was a year ago's payment.
There's also a third element of fees that play into it. It's also on areas on top.
Gotcha, okay.
So Jay, go back to the beginning, is that the lowest tax rates we could take? And still be able to operate next year very easily?
Yes.
go get that.
To give a historical beforehand, a couple years ago, I guess, until we lowered them last year, that rate was on real property was about 9.8, is that correct?
9.6.
9.6, okay. And then for personal property,
Was 19%. We cut the personal property in half. And we lowered that by 1.6%. We took 750,000 out of what we could have budgeted.
and basically, I think the fiscal court was very pleased last year when they got our budget. And we're still working on some things, and it's gonna be a work in progress, but next year when we start having a budget meeting and everything, hopefully we'll have a better idea what our expenses are gonna be, go ahead and pull staff. And what we're gonna need that, even though we may need more money, because programs and what we're offering have increased. Which, that's what we all.
That's what we're here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm out of line on this. Should ask this question when going over the report. Did we need to take some money out of this month's to go to savings, or have we already done that?
We done it 2 months ago. I mean, I can see I was the guy when I'm doing, you know.
We did it the January meeting, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's recent, I think 2 months.
Just even minutes.
What does everybody think about the budget that we presented?
I'll work on into it.
I printed it, you want to, did
It wasn't.
it come through?
I'll double check.
When I was on the committee school, I'll make a motion that we accept the budget. And I will say this, I dreaded doing it, because I don't understand this that very well. But I tell you what, that was a very educational meeting. We had, not a whole lot of us, but we had some candid discussion, and Mark really enlightened us and all that, so. And he gets a whole lot more questions than what I think us members of the board get out in public. Now, y'all may get a whole lot more than me, but I mean, I don't get that many questions and all that, you know? I think feels good about what the direction is going.
We got a motion. Is there a second to that motion to approve the budget as?
You make the motion.
I mean,
There. I'll second it. I think a lot of work went into it and it's very well thought. Alright.
We got a motion that's been made and seconded. Any other discussion on the budget before we vote? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the budget as presented tonight, signify by saying aye. Any opposition, like sign? Motion passes. Thank you. Like I said, I know there's a lot of work that went into it.
Yeah.
Apologize, I couldn't join you all that night. I had a meeting that I had not anticipated having to go through. Oh, yeah.
We try not to take it.
Yeah, please don't. All right, I think we had a couple of things that I wrote down, that needed to be addressed from the budget. As far as motions that you needed, Jay.
Okay, here we go. So we approved the budget. We need a motion on how many payments we normally do four even payments a year towards 2UK. So we need a motion.
And that's for covering salaries and the fees.
Yes, for what we have to send to UK, you can vote to do it in 4 payments, 1 payment, 2 payments, whatever. But traditionally, with the size of our payment, we hold on to the money and get interest on it rather than send it all to them.
I agree.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to, quarterly payments to.
Okay,
A second.
Motion made and seconded, for sending UK fees on a quarterly basis. Any question or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
so second motion, we need to approve the Lorax position. Need a motion, this is a part-time temporary for 20 hours per week at $15.30 per hour.
Why is it called Lorax?
That's what it was, just because he's watering the trees, because of water.
The movie.
I was gonna say, is it because of the movie?
Yeah.
It was just a nickname that we gave it to identify the position.
Okay. I haven't seen that movie.
Rather than calling it
Tree
tree,
freeze, right? It's a Lorax.
He's over the trees.
rather than calling it the tree water, we call it the Lorax position.
12 weeks, right?
And 12 weeks, yeah, roughly 12 weeks.
I'll make a motion that we, put out the bid for that, is that how you want to bid?
Job.
Job application, okay. For the lower exposition and
20 hours per week.
and hours and all that.
For 12 weeks at $15.30 per hour.
15:30, okay.
Part-time.
Hmm?
Part-time temporary.
Part-time temporary. The position's already there, so we don't have to create a new position. The part-time temporary position's already there, so it'll be real simple, we can post it. When we get closer to graduation, in another month or so, we can go ahead and post it and try to get that. To try to get a graduating senior or freshman in college or something that wants a nice little summer job. To do that.
So we got a motion,
I'll see.
motion made by Barry,
Yes.
seconded by Matt. Any discussion on that position, posting? Seeing none, all those in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Barry, we moved it $1 million, no areas connected. We discussed that. in the January meeting. Well, we discussed that in January meeting, like right there.
Yeah, okay.
So do we have any much excess money now?
Currently in the checking account, this is always bad, if you get a tax revenue all at once, you have 2.48 million. That's always bad, if you get the tax revenue now, you're gonna need it later. But if you choose to, you can always move it into the money market and then move back. At a later date, if you choose, but we'll need a board approval to bring it back into the checking account. So if it came out that we had to have the money, we'd have to have a meeting. But I don't see it getting that low.
I mean, you're still in the meeting, we're happening.
I mean, I guess you can go.
That makes sense.
Sorry, what'd you say, Barry?
Moving a half million.
We'll pull 500,000 out of checking account.
Yeah,
And put it in the savings.
yeah.
Put it in the money market.
It is a bar.
So you can pull it out.
Yeah.
It'll make money. It won't make it.
Right.
You can even make much work.
We don't make anything.
So, it's pennies on the dollar, whereas the money market's doing all right.
So do we want to do that, or we need to continue with the motion?
No, you're talking about, it. Go ahead and
Go ahead and do that,
I
okay.
didn't mean to sidetrack, that's
That's all right.
forgetting.
So you want to,
I'll make a motion that we move $500,000 to,
from checking to the money market,
yeah, checking the money.
that's the right terminology for you, Mark?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Is there a second on that motion? Second by Ben. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving that motion, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
I'll go with that, with the CD, so I get the notes. Whatever y'all need to get it done. No rush.
No rush.
I'm there to pay you, so.
finish on the base.
He's done real quick.
I work there, so I'm just walk over and tell them where I get the minutes. It's nice to.
How big's your briefcase, Mark?
I had to backtrack.
Mark, if you don't mind, could you possibly, because we've only been doing this about 3 years, moving stuff into CDs and
Yeah,
all that.
it might be pretty good. Yeah.
Approximately how much interest since we've done that, you know, if that's not too difficult to do.
Nah, you can just save it. Oh, this year, my party got 150 grand. Last year, I think it was 121.
124 and fiscal 25 is a.
Between those 2 years, that'd be 300 grand right there, rough on top of my head and the whereas I know previous years, it's going back, probably COVID years, you gotta take into account, which made it that hundred. So there's a big difference.
And I guess I should ask this, but the money market account, have you all had that set up to where it's, I know we're over FDIC insured portion, but aren't you breaking into that?
So basically, all your CDs will be covered because they're 250,000, so they're covered, and then the money market, everything's covered. So basically, every bank has a $250,000 threshold, which kind of spread the well, so to speak. So they use our FDIC thing, and we use their back and forth. So it's all covered at the end of the day. Closer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, whereas the checking account, I'd have to verify on that, I don't know, it's all covered because it is just checking account.
So next one is, do you want to move Mark to just a flat monthly amount? So that he doesn't have to keep up with hours.
I make a motion that we move Mark's salary to $1,000 a month. Flat fee, and if we get into projects that require his more time than that Mark comes aboard, we will work on that.
Adjust by the.
Adjust it, yes,
What's that, Raymond? Yeah.
$1,000.
And I'll second.
Made and seconded. Any discussion or questions? Change Mark's position from hourly to salary, monthly salary.
Is that agreeable with you, Mark? Is that?
Yes.
Any questions?
All right, so try to the end.
Seeing none, all those in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
So the first full year, I can tell you, Barry, was, I did my calendar year, just to make it easier on myself, it's January 21, it's $3,200. In the whole year. So 3,200 to 170,000, well, in the last 5 years.
Wow.
You're getting pretty good right now.
Well, I think everyone on the board is just trying to be good stewards of money for taxpayers. I mean, every one of us said this, excuse me, most all of us sitting in this room are taxpayers in Boyle County. If not, it's whatever county you're in. So I think that's kind of our role as a board.
Another one? Yep. Need a motion to approve purchase of the van, and give Barry permission to seek out. Because it will be by state rate. It'll have to, I forget who, they're elected, Paul Miller Ford. Yeah, I think Paul Miller Ford is who we go through, so.
We've got to buy through them.
That's to get state rate. State rate, it doesn't matter really who you buy it through, but Barry's told me there's nobody locally here that will
Bid.
bid the state rate. Yeah,
So we need a motion then to give Barry, and do we need some dollar amount or just get quotes and come back to the board?
get close, come back to the board, because we're not gonna purchase it until after July 1st.
Fair, okay.
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Your second on the motion?
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Give Barry the ability to go and get quotes, for us to review at a later date. Any questions? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed?
One more, 4-H, historically, the board has given the 4-H council $12,000 to help, defray some of the costs of the campers going to camp and to pay for the, adult and teen counselors, things like that. I would like to see that increase to 15,000. Price of camp is going up, so any way that we can help our youth to go to camp, I think we can do that.
Is there any scholarships for people who are needy, or is that what?
That's what this goes to. If they'll just, a lot of times, if they'll just write a little memo of why they need help, there's help out there.
And what did you raise it to?
From 12 to 15,000. Historically, there's 12,000 sitting in there right now that will do this year's camp.
Right.
This 15,000 will actually help in 27.
Let's raise it to 17,000. $5,000 raise. I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
I think we can invest $5,000.
Now, what part of that money, does all that money go to the scholarships? Like what portion of the money goes to scholarships?
Okay, Rita, you can help me on this, but camp allows district board to help pay for the educational portion of camp fees. And they've divided that out and know how much that is. So, that goes to scholarships and so forth. Plus, I think adults go, without a cost or very minimal cost. Teen counselors, they try to pay for teen counselors, just to get them to go. Well,
So this, what is that educational fee per camper? I mean, it's about $400, right, to go camp?
a little under 400, 300,
This year it's-
I think 325, man, yeah.
It may slightly increase next year. So you could take part of that money for your JCs, and then it could be calculated that maybe we took off. We have, say, 90 campers, and maybe we take that amount, maybe we take $25 off of each camper's fee or something like that. So it reduces what the families have to pay, because it is tough if you've got a couple of kids who want to go to camp, or if you've got 3 of you guys. That's.
Oh, yeah, there's families that send 2 or 3.
So if we can reduce that amount, that registration cost per camper, that does help. But we do pay for JCs and ACs. Too. So there are other things that we can also use it for that.
That's on the line item within the budget, that was the,
So that will go under marketing. and
That would go under
special.
marketing special, so I have to increase that.
like right now, we got 54,000. that was based on
54, well, it'll go 59.
So that's gonna change the budget. So
So we've got a motion that's been made and seconded, right? Very, okay, to go from 12,000, to the 4H board to 17,000. No, is that right? Yeah, so I wrote down 2 or 3 numbers, mark them out, make sure I read the right one. All right, any discussion on that? All right, all those in favor of accepting that motion, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Passes. Is that all that you had for motions, Jay? What's that?
What about with Peter? Who's gonna go?
Who's what?
Who's gonna go to this meeting and?
Well, I will.
Okay. Physical court meeting for,
I've got to present
Present
the
the budget.
to present the budget.
So since we changed that,
Do we have to revote? We need to
do we have to
revote.
revote on the budget?
Yeah,
We probably should have voted on the budget at the very end.
yeah.
Can I just amend my motion? To include, because we just changed that one.
5,000,
I
yeah.
would think so.
I think you could.
Yeah,
I would think so, just the amount.
I'll just amend the motion to include the $5,000 difference
Okay.
on the budget.
Everybody okay with that? Just verbal affirmation?
Yes.
Yes, fine, okay, all right. That way we're comfortable. Did we get any comments? No open comments, no open comments for tonight. Any other new business that needs to be discussed before we adjourn?
Next meeting. Look at May 4th, Monday, May 4th. Unless an emergency comes up, we need to meet next one.
That's great. Just give them one. And you don't need protectors to go to this before.
Are you gonna stand up for a minute?
Well, that's usually usually, you've already gone one time. Okay,
When are you going? Well, I forget what Shirley see when she wants to put it on the budget or on the agenda.
May 4th is one of our validation sites. And I got to do all the validations. We good? Good. Tuesday, on
What's a good day?
May 11th.
So you go to. Usually they do.
It's my birthday.
Oh.
I would make it, I'll see.
Well, I'm okay with May 5th. This far out, I mean, people can adjust their schedule.
May 5th is your birthday?
Yeah.
Cool. We'll celebrate your
I'm
birthday.
gonna have to break birthday cake. Remind me.
Just don't put candles on.
Set off, right?
Be too big.
So May 5th.
May 5th at 5:30. May 5th at 5:30. Yeah.
Mark and Jay, I appreciate y'all doing all everything on the budget. I don't know who else is involved. Really. I really appreciate it.
Jay got mine
already. Dude,
Jay got the hard work, I just looked at the numbers, he's got the whole work.
yeah,
Oh, man.
we really needed you to get us involved in, you know, I think that a lot of that, we got some situations.
Oh, on the 5th, so the 5th isn't.
Yeah, the small animal validations are all being done in like 10 days. Yeah, it's not gonna be a good. I'm sorry. I just looked.
What about the following Monday? May
11th is good.
11th.
I don't have anything on.
Can't remember, no, too many, mark it out.
May 11th, does that work for everybody else, people, May 11th?
As, I mean, right now, yes. That's
You'll be-
plan, see.
You'll be playing corn.
I'll. Somebody will, maybe take a corn too.
Well, I'm gonna tell you that on the 12th, there's gonna be a huge storm, because that's the night for Western Kentucky's validation. And there's always a huge thunderstorm. On that.
When you say validation, what are you talking?
So that's where we tag all these are the small animals, so all the sheep, goats and pigs for the market kids will be tagged and DNA pulled.
Okay.
And, we have like, you know, right now we're doing beef, we do the beef right now.
Okay.
And there's 5 sites that we have to do beef, and there's 10 or 12 sites. Very crazy.
Well, I'll entertain, if nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
I'll make some.
All right.